The regular season is always different than the preseason and all that. So from those first 2 games, what are some of the things that you have liked that your team has done?
Well, we've been down in both games, and we found a way to get back into the game. And to be quite honest, I don't know if we necessarily, I don't know if that's the right word, but in most cases, when you have first periods like we have had, it's tough to come back in games. And we've been fortunate. Our goaltenders played well, kept us in the hunt in the games, and then we've. Our top guys have really been able to produce, get us back in the game, and then we've had pretty good second periods, but yeah, a lot to work on.
On that, what do you want to work on specifically, especially with that first period start?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of everything. I mean we just got outplayed in the first period, both games, and so emphasis going to tomorrow is just going to be a better start, right? Just playing the right way, playing quicker, harder, winning more battles, and so. Just making the game easier for everybody, and then letting the chances come to us. That's kind of what makes us successful. Is we're not chasing, we're supporting, we're close, we're going at you from every direction, kind of, and that's when we're really good.
This schedule is pretty favorable for you all. You have 2 games this upcoming week, a couple of days in between. You have a couple of days between these last ones. How can you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I mean that's. I don't know, favorable. It's. I always think of something's coming ahead when you're at home a lot or whatever. But yeah, it's. We had a kind of a week off there. And then a back-to-back. So that comes with some challenges. And I guess the positive is we got 3 out of 4 points, and we didn't play our best. And now we got 1 game on Monday, and then we have a lot of rest again. So let's put all of our focus on tomorrow, and then take care of our bodies next few days, and then keep going.
And just with this team, I know that there's been a lot of talk about the expectations and everything like that. How do you feel like you all are learning about how to deal with those expectations for some of the younger guys in this group?
Well, I just think we shouldn't listen to, the expectations. It's like, I think it's one of the most irrelevant things to do is predict who's going to make the playoffs or who's going to win the Stanley Cup before the season starts or after 2 games. And that's, something I've got to realize is that, I think the league's really tight right now. The East is going to be tight. There's a lot of good teams. There's not going to be a lot of easy games, and it's going to be hard every night. So it's really important to, be ready to play when we drop the puck.
We saw some different situations out there, 6-on-5, a lot of power play. Using this practice time, what have you seen so far, and what do you still want to see from something like a 6-on-5 or some special teams play?
Well, I think especially team-wise, we've been pretty solid to start. There's always things to work on, but we've gotten some key goals in the power play and some pretty good kills at times. But both can be better always, and so working on those is always important. You want to keep working on them, and because it's really an important part of our game and everyone's. So yeah, I don't know. I just think overall just work on our start and then just build off that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Seeing that your team really has done well so far.
I think having that heart, right? Like we've been down in both games now. We've come back. We pulled it from within us in the second period, third period, whatever it takes to get back in the game. So I think we really showed that we have heart. But I think there's a couple things we got to work on. Like right off the puck drop, we got to be ready to go. I mean, we know we can carry the play. So just showing up right from the puck drop.
Yeah, and speaking on the other side, what are some of the things specifically that you want to see? How do you even improve that, being quick from the puck drop?
I know, it's obviously tough. First couple of games, you're kind of getting back into your rhythm and stuff. So after those first couple of games, we really have no excuse, to come off right from the puck drop. Where we should be back in our rhythm, routines, all that kind of thing. Maybe a little nervous. Got the crowd, or the crowd's full, right? So maybe a bit nervous. I don't know, but should be good next game.
How do you use this practice time wisely and to make sure that you're ready? There are some parts of time that there's a couple days between games right now. How do you use that time to your advantage?
I think it's more about the little things. It's, eating, hydration, getting back, sleeping, after a game, you're just so fired up, it's hard to sleep. So I think just getting that sleep routine back, eating well, and drinking a lot of water, hydrating. In terms of the practice and stuff, the coach wants to go over his little things, so we go over that, and then afterwards just work on your little things. So for me, it's like footwork, stick handling, whatever, getting my head up, working on stuff like that.
And then just from, I know it's only been a couple of games, but how are you feeling in your own personal transition? I know last year you really wanted to work on your hits and your timing. How are you feeling with this start of the season, what you're developing so far?
Yeah, I think physically I got to get a bit better. I feel a bit more confident trying to throw bigger hits. I think I haven't gotten in trouble yet with, being late back or anything like that, so that's good. I think defensively just being better positioned and more patient, especially against, last game, their top line, just, being patient, staying in the middle, don't chase, try to read off, like, what's their next play going to be. If you pass it to the guy on the wall, what's his next play going to be? Is it going to be across the ice to that F3? Is he going to try and slide it to the middle? So just reading plays like that.
And just for you, how excited are you to be finally back in this? I know we had the long preseason and training camp, and everyone was talking about it. We just want to be playing hockey. Now that you are a couple games in, how does that feel for you?
It's awesome. I mean, by the end of preseason, you're just like, let's get this thing started. So, yeah, exciting.
Perfect. That's all we need. Thank you so much. On the ice, is there an update on him?
Yeah, he's dealing with a little bit of a lower body injury, so be day to day.
And we saw Meyer and Palat on his top line with Heischer. What was the thought process, and what do you hope to see with those three?
Just trying to see if we can get a little bit more offense out of the Nico line. I think it's early in the season, and it's a great time to experiment with some combinations.
There's a couple days between each game for practices. What can you use these times for your advantage? What do you want to focus on? How can this be a positive?
Well, obviously yesterday was a day off, and so today was we spent a lot of time talking about the starts of our games, the last two games. What we need to do better in the first period, what we need to do better in the first 5 minutes. I think it's an area of the game that we really have to start working hard on, to set the tone a lot better, to be a team that can, end up scoring that first goal instead of always coming from behind.
What are some of the specifics they can do to be better with those starts?
Well, I think our puck play, we're a little bit too much on the outside. I think we got to get inside. We got to be a little bit more tenacious on our forecheck. And it's doing it as a five-man group. I think we were a little disconnected, and if when we get connected, you look at the second and third period when, as a group, we're skating together. We're creating a lot.
Are you seeing that teams are playing you to a different level this season at the start than they were last year?
Well, I just think that we're getting a lot of respect for what we did last year, and I think we're going to expect the best game out of every team. And I think that teams are improved. I think they're around the league. The parity is so good that a bad start in a game could cost you a hockey game. So yes, I think the teams know what our strengths are, and they're going to try to take that away. So there's areas of the game that we need to improve that maybe isn't our strength.
What is something that you have liked about what your team has done in the first two games?
Well, really, how well we've come out of what I would call a less than average first period, and really been able to find our game in the second and third period. I've liked our special teams. I know our penalty killing has been a little bit off when we've had some failed clears. We've won faceoffs, haven't gone down the ice, but structure-wise has been good. We've stalled a lot of teams on entries. Our power play has scored some big goals for us. So, I feel with the new personnel, we've been going the right direction with those two things. And, I think if we continue to work on it, we'll be in a great place.
Thank you.